Hi, it's Michael. Very fast typing on a smartphone, tablet, or computer, and actually any other fast, repeated mechanical movements. Is it beneficial to human health? And if not, then why? And what does it mean? Why is it important? So uh, perhaps you can type quickly yourself, or you've seen people around you, uh, especially younger people, just typing so fast you can barely see the fingers. It looks impressive, and it must be very time efficient, and it can certainly have a large data throughput. At the same time, it affects the person's brain, the nervous system, in a way that is not beneficial. And so you may be aware that there is the right side of the brain, there is the left side of the brain, and there are different brain waves, different brain clock frequencies. So the right side of the brain is more concerned with abstract way of thinking or processing, with art, with happy, joyful stuff. And it's more concerned with kindness and being benign. The left side of the brain is more concerned with thinking, with intellectual, well, thinking, with intellectual processing, with intellect, with physical doing, with mechanical doing, and it's more animalistic. And if the right side of the brain is the dominant one, the person is usually more happy, more joyful, more healthy. If the left side of the brain is more dominant, then the person behaves more like an animal, and maybe very smart person, very clever and cunning person, but certainly not intelligent. Intelligence is with the right side of the brain. Intellect, smartness, cunningness is with the left side of the brain. And with that come also brain waves, clock frequency. So the right side of the brain dominance is more with the lower speed waves, which are equated more with deep relaxation, meditation, even sleep. And the faster brain waves are more for the left side of the brain, and are again more with thinking, more with survival stuff, with more animalistic behavior, more robot-like behavior. So it has its place in this physical world, the left side of the brain, the faster clock frequencies, but in a limited way when it is being kept in check by the right side of the brain, so to speak. When it is balanced, it needs to work in harmony. So if you do some very fast repetitive movements over longer periods of time, then you're engaging the left side of the brain, the faster clock frequencies, and that's not beneficial to your health. Now, if it would be just for a brief period of time, maybe, but the fact that somebody can type very fast means the person has to be doing it frequently enough to make it so proficient, which means the person is way too much on the robotic, animalistic, rough side, and that's not beneficial to the health. So so it's important to be aware of it. So does it matter? Right side, left side, spiritual side? I don't believe in this stuff. Well, it matters because healing occurs during the slow, or primarily during the slow brain waves. So basically, if you want to live a healthier, safer, happier life, then you should aim for the right side brain dominance. That doesn't mean that one should forego completely the left side of the brain. It's needed too in this world. It's just as mentioned, it should be kept in check by the right side. So what does it mean to fast typing? Well, obviously, for better health, slow it down. Slow it down. Type slowly. So it takes 3, 4 times, 5 times longer to send a message. So what? In exchange for better health, it must be worth it. Also, because we have to at work type and we need to communicate with people, so typing is necessary, but also it is beneficial to make time for deep relaxation. It can be brief, it doesn't have to be long. Deep relaxation, meditation, beautiful things like beautiful art, like classical music, watching ballet, reading very positive books like by Dr. David Hawkins, by Osho, the Upanishads, the New Testament in the Bible, without the book of Revelations, David Hawkins has revealed and clearly shown, and it's obvious to anybody with intelligence, the book of Revelation is negative, it's not positive, it is negative. But anyway, this talk is not about that. It's just to say that the New Testament in the Bible is positive, just to leave the book of Revelation out of it. So that way, especially with the meditations and deep relaxation, you enhance your right brain function and you help harmonize your energy system and help your healing. So if your goal is to spiritually evolve, then absolutely it's crucial you avoid robotic, animalistic, mechanistic scenarios like very rapid typing or very rapid long drumming like in rock and roll music, or extremely fast typing on a keyboard for longer periods of time and so on. Very important. Now, if you recognize yourself in this talk and you say, hey, he called me less intelligent and animal-like and robot-like, then there is no need to get defensive about it or emotional about it. It's not your fault. Please keep in mind that this world deliberately presents us with an infinite number of things to do, to engage in, and many of them, if not the majority of them in this world, are not beneficial to the health. And it is sometimes very hard to discern what is beneficial and what is not, especially when you see everybody or many people around you doing that, and when you realize that if you can do it as well, so quickly, then it can save a lot of time. But in exchange for what? So snares and traps are many in this world, and if you fall into one, no need to get defensive about it. Just acknowledge that that is so, reduce it or eliminate it from your life and move on. So you don't have to throw away your smartphone. Slow it down and use it for things that are really necessary, and avoid unnecessary stuff. And as the Buddha is reported saying, and as Dr. David Hawkins says, how many times do you want to come back to this world, to incarnate? Do you want to, and as the Bible says, do you want to live in deception forever? So do you want to keep on coming into this world over and over and over, hundreds of times, thousands of times, millions of times? Well, if you want, you can. You have the free will. But if you would rather move on to more positive, more peaceful, more joyful, healthier places, then you need to engage in things that are healthier, more beneficial to health, and you need to recognize when you're, and be willing to recognize and acknowledge that you might be, or you are engaging in something unhealthy, and rather than getting defensive about it, correct it. Right? It's within your power to do that. It's within your will, and then you move on higher. But if you keep on being robot-like, animal-like, then you keep on coming back and back and back and back and back. Well, it's up to you. And also a plug-in for another thing, which is mentioned in all my talks, is the importance of staying away from toxins. And the major toxins are smoking, drugs, and alcohol. And there are some other toxins like coffee and so on. Buddhism calls smoking, drugs, alcohol the basis of negligence, and again other traps for the human spirit. So as Dr. David Hawkins said, we are not animals. We here in this world, we are kind of between the angel and between the animal. So do you want to move towards the angel level, or do you want to move more towards the animal level? It's up to you. So that's it for this talk. Michael out.